And we are live. I was just doing a bit of equipment maintenance. I went through my stash and found things that might be good probably later, some decent talismans. And I was looking at other things that they're all like level 35. So it's stuff that I'm probably not going to be using just yet. I was wanting to print the Deloyer, Deloire, Deluluir, however you're supposed to say that. But the models that I have all have a flaw in them, so they don't print properly. I'm going to be printing some Lao Hu instead, and we're going to hope that this works fine. So we have to go back through the bandits' camp because, well, we didn't get to a save point last time. So let's try to do that real quick. Don't think it's going to be very difficult. Oh, this guy is at the top of the thing. Anyways, killing these guys will give me a little bit of reputation with the town, which is always a problem. It's really I think it's the hardest one to get fairly high. This the starting town because of just what you need to get reputation with it. See, I'm just friendly with them. Once you get to respected, you get a few items you can buy that are pretty useful. The really good stuff starts at honored, and at revered, well, you get the really, really good stuff. But you shouldn't need revered like immediately, but I'm gonna need it at some point. I saw that there was a shrine here, so let's see. Okay, a bunch of undead, no biggie. Shouldn't be too hard to take care of. There we go. Anarchy, not very good. Flamebreaker is a shield. Willie's Razor, not useful for me. Ether damage, elemental damage. It's not terrible. The Berserker Cowl is very good. That's my problem. Hey, Argyle, how are you doing? I hope the video's not too choppy or whatever. I don't know if it's the game that's having the issue or if it's restream showing the game. So I honestly do not know here. I couldn't sleep last night. I was feeling really off all day. I called off work. Not a thing that I do very often, well, at least nowadays. But yeah, it wasn't a very pleasant day for anyone. Tomorrow, my wife's out of town, so I am not going to stream, which is a normal kind of thing. Um, I'm still trying to get the hang of the whole streaming thing, so I'm trying to stream more regularly and have various games, various things, just so people have different things to look forward to, let's say. Oh, a bunch of elementals. Don't see those very often. Oh yeah, there's the guy who's dying because his business partner betrayed him. At least that's what he tells you. So you go up the hill and you meet said business partner. Well, okay, I have to kill some bandits first. Come on. All right, you meet said business partner. And he's kind of mad. I'm here about your partner. That swine is in dead. Let me explain. There's a huge misunderstanding. As usual, you can be a bad guy, but it's not going to pay off in the long run. What's going to pay off is that you listen to him and you learn that he tried to do very bad things with his daughter. So you're like, well, I'm sorry I rushed to judgment. Be more careful in the future. And he'll give you discounts when you get to his town later on. A free 36% pierce resistance and 25% ether resistance is pretty good. Bonus armor is really good. Defensive ability is really good. So overall, I'm happy with this. I should probably figure out if I want to go demolitionist or if I want to just stick with the just leveling up shaman to maximum. I'll have to check. What I'm going to check is what is the name of the class between Demolitionist and Shaman, and see if I've already built a class like that. It wasn't choppy when you were playing, so I'm not sure. If it is choppy now, it might be a problem with Grim Dawn itself, because it's not choppy when I play NES games or something along those lines. Primal Strike is really fun. I think I had another character who was built around Primal Strike, but I'm not even sure if I want to keep going Savagery. Like I was saying here, I'm not 100% sure what I want my build to be, I guess. Beat this guy. There you go. That's a decent chunk of XP. Getting reputation with the Rovers is not too difficult. Elementalist. Do I have an Elementalist is the question. I can't remember what my Grifter was. I do use a two-handed weapon. That was my Primal Strike build. It's my character that I'm not sure if it's my highest level or my second highest level character. I never got to like max level any character because I restart the game way too often. It's my biggest problem. Because I do like just starting a character and seeing like, okay, what skills am I going to get? What ability am I going to use? It's just fun to build characters in this game. At least the undead, that's an easy source of reputation with the Rovers. And there's always a whole slew of undead when you fight them. They always come in huge amounts. So it's pretty easy to get reputation with the Rover, but I don't think I've ever maxed out my reputation with the Rovers. I was trying to get to that tower with the note. Note gives a good chunk of experience normally, so. How do you get there again? Okay, I just completely blanked and didn't go in the direction of the tower. Nice job, me. You can tell that I'm not always the greatest at either following directions or finding out where I'm supposed to go. There we go. 875 XP just to read a note is pretty good when a quest gave me 1,200. So it is worth it to find the notes and okay, can't go further this way. We'll go this way. More undead. Undeads always spawn behind you, or it feels like they always spawn behind you. So it's Warlord is your highest character. Druid is insanely fun as well. What class combination is Druid? Is it Necromancer Shaman or something? Or as I would expect something like that. I mean, the only sad thing is that you don't transform into all sorts of other creatures like a good D&D druid would. Where am I? Well, there's brigands, so I'm going in the right direction, getting some experience fighting some brigands anyways. All right. I mean, the game is decently linear, so you don't have to worry too much about getting lost. You can get lost experimenting, but exploring some special places, but you can't very well get lost. Arcanist Shaman, yeah. Arcanist is another very good class because it has some like very cheap auras, And very cheap auras are a good thing. Oh, well, there's the... So that means the rover hideout is nearby, I think. Yeah, there it is. Did I miss a totem? No, I don't think I did. So this guy has trouble with bandits. Sure. He wants me to blow up a thing with dynamite. I could just go and get dynamite from my stash, but I don't feel like I need to. I'm just going to sell these things because I don't think I need them. That ribbon is not super duper good. No fancy weapons. I think I'm fine. The Arcanist is generally squishy. Let's be honest. It is one of the squishier classes. You don't get a whole lot of physique and you don't get a whole lot of health bonus on it. But if you combine it with something else, it can start getting very fun, and it doesn't have the stupid abuse that you have in things like Diablo sometimes with things like Mana Shield. There we go. Giant wasps. I did abuse the royal jelly on a particular build because it was, I think, one of those Arcanist Link build, and you just don't have enough health, but you use the royal jelly recipe to build the an ointment, and then you just regenerate like crazy. So it kind of worked. Not sure if it still works the same way though, because they revamped a whole lot of those items. The Blood Reaper's Claw. That would be very good if I was running, a dual wielding warrior. But it is not what I'm building. The weird thing about kiting, I am very, very bad at it in most games because I brute force my way through things in most of those games. There, you got a stick of dynamite. We will need far more of them, but this is a decent enough metal. Poison and acid resistance, energy regeneration, a few damages that I use. I'll keep it around and I'll put an enchant on it because right now the attuned lodestone gives me a pretty big bonus. So, and I don't want to just walk around with some of them, or if I have some of them, I might just end up putting them in the stash when I click the put all components in the stash kind of thing. So, yeah, there's just barrels here. Okay. All right. Even in games like Elden Ring and things like that, I am not very good at kiting and doing the whole manipulation of trying to get the monster to follow you to improve your results and whatever. No, I face tank stuff and I spin around the monster by spamming the roll button. I don't even block anymore. I used to be the kind of guy who basically lived off the block button, but I don't even do that anymore. I just roll around, be silly. There, I'm going to finish that quest. Use the dynamite to blow up the barricade. I got to go report it to the dude back there. But I got to get the medallion from the poor rover that's in a undead camp. So we're going to try to go and find that. Oh, there's a bunch of undead. If you look for the rovers here, killing undead quests and bounties are how you get this up. Right now I'm at 437. We'll do this bit of map and we'll see where my reputation with them goes. Tsunami, rank 4. That's good. As you can see, undead just come in massive amounts. So it is fun to fight. And there's a lot of diversity. You're going to have the ones with the crossbows. You're going to have the regular ones with sword. There's mages. There's the ghosts as well that have their own kind of set of weapons. So there's a good amount of different undead monsters. See, now I'm at 360. So killing all of this gave me like what? 84 points of reputation. So you can see it's pretty easy to raise your reputation with the rovers. You just need to find undead that are at your level, and that's what gets a little bit harder later in the game, because the undead start being too low level, and there's no easy location for them to spawn at your level, basically. Just smack around a bunch of undead. I have enough elt regeneration that I don't even have to look at the screen. Yeah, I do face tank most things. That's why I always end up doing the same kind of build. Even if I try to do anything fancier in any of the Souls-like, I always end up as big of an armor as I can, biggest slab of metal I can swing around, and medium weight. It's generally how I roll. I don't go with the heavy weight because that's too slow, and I don't invest too much in order to get it like lightweight while wearing all the armor. I'm content with rolling at a normal speed. And yes, I am a bit of an art ass in this situation. All right. I destroyed the barricade. Gives me 250 reputation. The thing that'll give you the most reputation quickly are the quests, but you don't have like an infinite number of quests in the end, right? So there is that. Is that any good? Not really. I did have a level. Because if I go to Militionist, I'd strip out the points I put in this, so I could max out the Demolitionist Fire Strike. As it's really this one here at 10 points. That's really good because you always do an area of effect attack, which is really, really devastating. That's bleeding and lightning. It would mean that I'd probably be switching my damage over to fire from lightning. It's mostly physical right now anyways, so it's not that bad. That's a totem that gives you Elt Restoration. I could use that at some point. Or I mean, I could just max this out and get this exclusive skill here. I've never used the exclusive skill in the big end of the game kind of stuff for that. Because I mean, that's 25 additional points in Shaman, so that's like another like almost 10 levels of investment just to get this particular skill, which is good. So I'm wondering what I should be doing here. Because I could just max out savagery. It'd be very straightforward. It would increase my damage significantly. The bleeding damage I'm not using on this, though. If I go ear, it's fire damage. You do get some lightning damage with the 25 points, but that's just a chance of doing lightning damage. This is where I am sometimes confused. I'm just gonna max out savagery. It's gonna increase damage. Found your elder. I'm sorry. Here's your talisman. Gives you more reputation doing that. And see, now I'm in the friendly with the rovers, so I'd be able to buy their first tier of gear at their quartermaster store. And I get discount from all rover merchants, a few little things like that. It's not fantastic at first, but as time goes on, it gets better and better. Yeah, I'm really leaning towards elementalist, but I'm gonna have to go check. I'm gonna go check my characters here in a second. If I already have an elementalist, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want two characters with the same build or almost the same build. That would be, silly. Nothing fantastic here. Nice little waterfall here. Oh well. Oh, an ancient art. It's weird to get an ancient art this early in the game. It's usually a later kind of thing. Oh, those the Marauder's gloves are generally pretty good. Oh, I already had no. That's the Blade Dancer's Vanguard. That's physical damage, pierce damage, fire damage. I don't deal that much fire damage for now. The armor, the one I currently has more damage. Not much else, really. If I put those on, I mean, the armor rating goes up, but even by that much. What about those shoulder pads? Oh, those do increase my damage and increase my armor. I get lower elemental resist, but I think that comes mostly from... No. Okay, I thought it came from the tag thing there. Good enough. We're going to strip this once we get to town, or we go back to town. Oop. No, I generally don't use tools to make builds. I did a little bit in Path of Exile, but it's mostly just to see where I want to go put my points at some point. I don't like doing the matte hammering, let's say, of things, because it just doesn't feel right. I just like to do... I advance, I buy the things that I need. The thing is, I've seen Grim Tools and I've seen some people post builds with it when I was just looking around. It's a really nice tool, but it's just not a thing that I use personally. Just like mods in many games I won't use because I just don't feel like it, or feel that it doesn't work with what I want to do, let's say. Royal Jelly. There we go. More bugs. There's usually a boss at the end of this little bit. She has a good weapon, but not for this particular class. It's a spine, so it's very good for something like a an assassin build with a lot of piercing damage. There we go. Yeah, this is generally really good for an assassin's build. But this one's good for Eye of Mynir, Aegis of Mynir. This one is a really weird one. The special items you drop from monsters sometimes are not as suited as you would think. I mean, I could sit and Terry craft a build for hours, or I could just play the game. That's part of my reasoning here. And I've got enough other things that I need to spend my time on when I'm at just waiting for stuff to happen at work, that it's not a great thing to do while invested there. I mean, having been on and off all day today, I'm losing a little bit of painting time in a way. So, but I'm gonna concentrate on the things that I have. I got a bunch of green paints this weekend because I know I'm gonna have to be dealing with those Jade Phoenixes, Blood Reaper's Cleaver, Maven's Tome. I mean, those are good for specific classes, not for me right now. I mean, we literally have the 2 Blood Reaper weapons. So if we were doing the two-handed, 2-weapon fighting assassin build, it wouldn't be that bad. Devotion. I was leveling up the Wraith. Yes. That's damage to undead physical resistance. That is very good. Wow, I've got 3% damage physical resistance. We're almost to a safe point right there. Yep. Just activate this. That's the quartermasters for the rovers. Bonus damage to vitality or a bonus to the pets. It's pretty good. Those 2 things are good, but I mean, if you start living off of those things, you are going to be living an expensive life. Let's say, as you level them up, you get other things. All right, go fight the bandits for the rovers. That sounds good. You need royal jelly. There you go. We've got the royal jelly thing, and we've got to kill a giant. There, nothing. This I already have. This I don't need. This is pretty okay. That's the royal jelly bomb. Eldritch regeneration plus 10 plus 15% Eldritch regeneration. I mean, you can use that to great advantages. I'm going to go to town, strip the buff here. Yeah, I mean, it's a game that's more fun to just build characters and go with it than focus on hyper focus on things, since they don't do the big seasons like they do in most of the other games that like this nowadays. It's not as bad. You can come back to it at any time and it'll be a little bit more interesting. I'll stick a spiked carapace, whatever, on my berserker cowl. That'll improve it a little bit. I really don't have a whole lot of acid resist though right now. All right. That's a little bit more elemental. Yeah, that amulet is better. That metal is better than the metal I have for the resistances. So I better use that one. So keep add-on. Put that in there and equip it. My damage should be about the same. And it gives me more acid resist and more of that elemental resist. I'm a little bit low on lightning, but that should be fine. I mean, it's not a final build or whatever anyways, so it's just equipment I have. Yeah, I wanted to go check my other characters here. Yeah, Grifter's an elementalist, so I'm not going to do another elementalist. I mean, this is it my highest level character? Yeah, it is my highest level character. My shield breaker ear is a little bit lower. I mean, it looks kind of the same as well. Oppressor, Stefan Amaris, Nightblade McGee. That was a fun one too. Saboteur, Necro Man. I delete characters all the time as well here, just to not have a backlog. I hope they release the expansion this year, maybe at the end of the year, because they said they would release it at the start of the year. So, you know, they're very, very late on this. All right. If you go this way, there's the town of New Arbor, which is basically being run by the bandits. So you've got a few different, they want you to help them. So you decide to help them. That is nice. You go talk to the brigand and you say, like, you can give them the scrap, you can give them money to have them leave, or try to kill them. If you kill them, which is what I did at first here, they come back and they kill all the villagers. That is a bad thing. But you can just pay them off, and it's not that much. It's 2,500 iron bits out of my 60K. So, you know, I'm not terribly worried here. So that just gets them to leave. If you go in the back here, there is a way to get multiple ways to get up the hill to go fight the bandit bosses. One being using a dynamite to go through here. There's a lot of undeads that way. But I'm just going to go the good old fashioned way because you need to do all sorts of different things anyways. So I do need to kill Gulgot the Rampaging, who's a giant troll. And he's currently fighting the brigands and winning. He is tough, but I've got him. Ooh. That's a big number. That's an extra 1,000 points of damage on that particular weapon here. I guess I'm going to be a friend of the trolls. I might just not buy a second class with this particular one, or buy maybe soldier. Soldier's not bad as well. It could be useful here. Keep add-on. Put it in there. And that just made my damage go way up. It's just because the weapon itself is insanely good. It's not the it's not that there's a lot of synergy with that weapon in my build. It's just that the weapon damage is insanely high. It's the kind of thing that I would need to, log out, kill the monster, and keep killing it until he gives me the perfect great hammer. Or I can keep moving and fight the trolls later, and they'll probably give me similar things. All right, let's go and take care of the brigands. There we go. Is there a brigand? Oh yeah, there is one that was just down there, spinning around. I mean, if I soldier, you've got disability that triggers 12% of the time. You've got some physique and elt bonuses. Shield training is useless here. Veteran C has tons of regen. That's a shield skill or a two-handed. That's a movement skill, which could be useful. But I mean, the really, really good stuff is at really high level as well. Again, just going to keep pumping up savagery. I mean, I'm at +6 level on savagery with that big club there. That's probably what causes the damage to go way up. Here you always have at least one guy, but sometimes you got two. So there's Master of the Pit and the Champion of the Pit. They don't always both spawn, I've noticed. And there we go. There we go. And this is not very good. This physique, movement speed, that's really if you just want to go really, really fast, which is good, but not here. Yeah, I don't try to farm items very often, but I will do it every once in a while. So bandits, I'm going to let them go. They tell me more information on the other bad bandits. They're bandits, but not as crazy and evil as the bandits we're fighting, who've sold their soul to the evil demon angel guys. Ugh. There we go. There's the cave down there. I usually go to that cave or through that cave down here just because there's a high probability that you will find some dynamite in there. And dynamite's not hyper common. You need it for a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not super common. You can craft it, but even there, it's not always the easiest thing to craft because it does require some rarer stuff. So if there's places where there's a good chance of getting dynamite, I generally go. There you go. There's some dynamite down there. I could Bugs Bunny things with that. There we go. Bonk, 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 bonk. There, nothing fantastic here. Got a stick of dynamite. The shoulders I have are better. The mace I have is better. Wilkins note. That's free. That's lore, but mostly 800 XP, more or less free. Now the leveling up is starting to slow down significantly here. There we go. Alien the rat. I think I'm going to go, if I keep going this way, though, I'm going to go back down the hill. If I was doing a shaman, a summoner shaman, that particular thing would be pretty good. Because the shaman does have a pet you can summon that's pretty okay. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty okay. But if you start combining it with the other pet classes, it can start being quite funny. So you have running around with eater skeletons or summon demons and primal creatures and all sorts of fun things. Yeah, that'll bring me back down the mountain. Oh well, doesn't matter. I'm exploring. I'm exploring, as they say. Yeah. Nothing critical. I need to find 2 more forges. There's 4 or 5 forges in total on the mountain. So it's hard to, not get all 3 that you need to destroy. So there's another forge. There we go. Blew it up. There's another stick of dynamite. That's almost worth more than the forge I just destroyed. Because you need like 3 or 4 sticks of dynamites to blow up some of the things, to go in some of the more non-quest critical area, but they do give like tons of experience and tons of good items and a bunch of shrines. So no good reason not to go there. Maybe I should invest into a ranged attack, one of those bug swarms or something. But no, I gotta max out savagery first if I'm gonna be doing a full savage build. There, we destroyed all 3 of the forges I need to destroy, but there's more than that on the ills themselves. There we go. I'm not used to attacking forts from the inside. Usually you attack forts from the outside. And those doors break a lot easier than they do in Dynasty Warriors. Bought Dynasty Warriors 9 because I'm on a kick for that kind of stuff right now. Very weird compared to the other Dynasty Warriors. I'm not sure if I ate it or if I like it. It just is very weird compared to all the other games in that series that I've played. Slavak the Breaker. Well, he's not going to break anything anymore, but it's elemental damage. I could do Arcanist for the second class and get the Arcanist's aura, which does buff elemental damage. It buffs ether damage as well, which is not what I'd be using, but Gloves of Nature Bounty, I'm not super interested there. I'm going to sell them. You do need some money. What makes the Demolitionist and everything really good is because those guys keep dropping those helmets and those boots and those shoulders that boost fire damage, and they're just good enough that you can base your build around them, and they drop so many of them that you can always find a good one around your level if you know where to look. So that is the sad state of affair, that the Demolitionist is probably one of the easier classes to build for. All right, I'm going to go talk to the guy there. Get the next quest from him, which is to kill Moneybags Martins. Thank you for blowing up the forges and kill Moneybag Martins. Okay, I'll do that. Sell that stuff. Keep my dynamite. Gonna move that to the other bag here, so it's not clogging up my inventory. And this bit of inventory will be my, well, what I might use in the future section. The metal I have is really good, so I don't think I'm going to use that. The Mistborn Talisman, that's a custom. Well, not really a custom. That's a special talisman you have to get the recipe for, and you need to use one of those hammers like the one I have in order to build it. That's the core material to build it. Big damage to all sorts of things, and it gives you an attack like savagery. It's not going to be as strong as what I have, unfortunately. But if you were not using like savagery as your main attack, you could use that to replace it. So you could do Primal Strike as your big damage, which is as a cooldown. It's this attack here. It has a cooldown of a couple seconds. Unless you want to use this here, it's going to be going to be a secondary thing here. But I mean, you could buy this as your primary kind of attack and level that up like all the way up, and use the Troll's special attack as your main attack. It would be a different type of build and a different type of idea. It would be weird, probably, but I'm pretty sure it would work. And I think there's an empowered version of it, which gives a better version of the skill as well. So there, Moneybag Martins, he's here. Usually later, he's usually deeper down in the dungeon. Oh well. There we go. Took care of that. Desert Sting, a very good weapon if I was with another type of thing. Crest of Protection, that's another good item, but not one that I need. Kill more brigands. I also seem to be dealing a good chunk of retaliation damage, even though it's not a retaliation build. I made an actual full retaliation build once with the kind of paladin class that's shield based. I was basically dealing more damage getting it by monsters than attacking the monsters. It was quite odd. Yeah, soldiers probably. I am starting to think I might go soldier. This is fun. It's a breakable wall. It doesn't really show on the map, but it's a breakable wall with some items hiding behind it. There's a few of those in almost every zones. You just have to try to find them and figure out how to get in. There. Woo, free dynamite. I'll take free dynamite. Savagery Battle Cry. That would probably be fun here. That's Cadence. Where's Battle Cry? Blitz, Blade Arc, Field Command, War Cry, reduction enemy L, taunt, etc. That could be good, but it's pretty high level. I mean, I'm thinking of what I want to do. I could just shaman all the way. All right. That's a special quest, the Annals of Arcovia. It's you need to bring it back to the Rovers camp to complete that particular quest. It's mostly lore, but you need to know where the thing is. You need to break those pots down there, and once they're broken, well, you can go and get it. All right. This gives me. I wanted some purple. Is there other options of purple that I have access to now that would be worth it? So I'll go just type lightning. That's what I was focusing on because I'd like this and a few other things. No, but I think physical Yeah, the hammer there is 3 points for four purple, and it's a lot of physical damage and some armor. There's this little guy here giving you 3% physical resistance. Give me red and purple, which would be good if I want to try to get this here. All right. Well, I think I'll go get the hammer next. It'll boost up my physical damage. And then I can go get the lightning bolt, which boosts everything else. Yeah, Moneybag Martins normally spawns around here. At least most of the time that I fought him around this location and not at the very start of the map. Bandits are fighting giant wasps. Not sure that's the best investment of time on their end. There's good chances you get royal jelly from these, so that's why I go and fight them. Bloody Jack wasn't as big of a threat as you wanted. A few more. As you can see here, now they're more possessed and more evil, the bandits. So you see that there's an evolution. If you didn't kill, there was an evil cultist that you find out is an evil cultist if you investigate one of the first towns. If you don't kill him in town, he'll show up here as a boss, and he's actually pretty rough. So I prefer to kill him in town. You get better rewards anyways from doing that. Bloodstained note. It's just a bit of lore. Yeah, it's just a bit of lore where the bandits are wondering why they're all getting corrupted. There we go. More easy monsters. I'm honestly not threatened by these guys as much as I sometimes am. The aura giving you free ether resistance. I mean, I'm already at 52% ether resistance is really good. Because you do need ether resistance to do stuff. So it's a free like 25% ether resistance from my aura. That's pretty nifty, as they say. All right. More dynamite. Jeez. I'm actually piling up dynamite a little bit, which is not what happens most of the time. I'll take all the dynamite they give me. Hey, there's another stick right there. Jeez, how many dynamites do I have now? 8. That's a whole lot of dynamite. Like I said, I could do Bugs Bunny things with that. Oh, there's a totem. We'll get the experience and equipment off of that totem. Swamp. That's actually not a bad set of pants. Band of Black Ice, not super great. The Conduit. It's a very good elemental sword, but it's an Arcanist weapon mostly. Those pants are not bad. I'll put them in the not bad pile here. Need 2 more levels to equip them. They would lower my damage, but increase my poison resistance by 59%, and Modrogan Pact, which is this ear, by another 2 levels. So that would still be quite good. So I'm quite enjoying those particular pants, and they do. How much armor do they have more? Almost like 100 more points of armor. So I think those are going to be my next set of pants. She would say that pants are bullshit. You are right. She would probably say that, but I need pant armor in this game. You can't run around without pants. Well, you can, but it won't be very good. Because what's the percentage chance of being it on the leg? 20% chance of being it on the legs. So you do want the leg armor to be pretty high if you want things to go well. Then again, my legs are currently my best protected part of my body. With my chest the next, my arms being the worst, my feet being okay, my head being okay. The thing is, the head gives me a berserker rage, so I kind of want to keep that. Okay. Before you fight this boss, always break those 2 crystals because they're going to be causing you all sorts of issues. And this boss is stupid and doesn't attack you until he gloats. So you have to talk to him. Then he gloats for a bit and he's like, I want to take over the place. Can't we solve this peacefully? No, we can't. And then you just berserker rage his face in. My Ultra generation is so high that I don't really take damage from a boss 3 level higher than me. That's a bad sign for him. There you go. Signet of the Wolf. That might not be bad, actually. That was maybe a pretty decent ring. Bonus bleeding damage. Meh. Bonus attack speed is good. Poison resistance, pierce resistance, vitality resistance, and 3 levels to Blood Pact. Blood Pact is Feral Hunger, Brute Force, Upheaval. It's a skill that I don't have any points in, probably. Where is it? Blood Pact. It's a skill that I can buy, but I don't see it. Tenacity of the Boar, Devouring Swarm, Grasping, Entangling Vine, Oak Skin, Art of the Wild, Mordrugan Pact, Upheaval. Oh, it's a level 40 skill. Okay, that's an odd one. But I mean, I don't think it's a bad ring. And with the roiling blood in it, it would probably be pretty good. Let's see here. If I put it on this and my ether resistant go down. If I put it on this one, I lose a little bit of cold resistance, a little bit of lightning resistance. Huh. Like both of them are, but I always get more damage. I think I'm going to go this way. There we go. He has a big chest. Oh, that's the armor for the in the same category as the axe the axe I add. I no longer have it. I mean, it could have been good. It's probably better than the armor I currently have. Here you can destroy the laboratory and the crystal and keep some for yourself. You just destroy the laboratory. Here I've never seen really a difference between the two. This one gives you a few items. This one I think just gives you more experience. So I'm just gonna do that. All right. Keep maxing out savagery. I mean, it's not maxed out. It says 16 out of 16, but that's because I've got plus 6 levels to it. So it will start being very, very strong very, very soon. This armor is better than what I have. I am going to do a few things here. I'm going to go report the quests I've completed to the fun guy over there. Yeah, I'm still straight shaman. I think I'm going to go straight shaman and at some point maybe go into soldier or arcanist, one of the two. I'm just going to sell these that not going to use. Okay, I can stick a plate in this, and I can stick a plate in this, so that'll be more relevant. Almost the same damage. Elemental resistance go down, but I still like that better. Better straight armor. It's not to say that this armor is bad, but it's not what I need right now. I'm going to put this over here. There we go. I give him the Annals of Arcovia. That's a free 300 experience and 250 reputation. Moneybag Martins is dead. That's 1,000 reputation and 300 XP and some money. The money, I mean, I could literally tell him like, just keep your money, bro. I don't think I need it at this point. Now my chest armor is a little bit better than my leg armor. I might need to start investing in some stuff that gives elemental resistance, but I should start finding equipment that has the better resists soonish, basically, as we advance through the game. You probably want maxed out elemental resistance because everything deals a little bit of elemental resistance later on. But ether and vitality damage is probably more important to max out if you can, because the bigger monsters later on, the big ethereals and the big chthonic monsters are all going to be dealing a whole lot of that type of damage. So I'm happy that that's around 33. I mean, I hope I find better pants and better armors and better everything. There. Now we go to Twin Falls, which is where you have the necropolis. That's a whole lot of fun to actually fight in. So you wanted to go through the bridge, but the bridge is kind of broken. You can actually fix the bridge from the other side. It's a optional area you can go in. And it gives you some okay benefits, actually, to do it. So it's one of those odd things you can do in the game. And I think you couldn't do it before. They added that as a zone, not at the very start of the game, but later on. Here, there's a guy threatening a woman, threatening to kill her. You give him 300 bits, and then they say, "Ah, ha, ha, we were actually just playing, and we were abusing people on the streets and the road with this fake things." We tell them about the prison, and they move to the prison, and we have more people living there. Are they bad people? Well, they're doing what they need to do to survive in this terrible location. We're actually going to go to one of the dangerous domains here that was added later on in the game development cycle. This is the Arcovian Colosseum next to the necropolis of Arcovia. It's a very small, they say Colosseum, but it looks more like a chariot race area. But it is very small. I wouldn't be racing my chariots on a thing that size. It's a little bit too small. But, it's a game. Things are not always the size that they should be. But this particular location, I mean, you're going to be fighting a decent number of undead, but you're also going to be fighting a few bosses. So it's good to raise your rover friendship, basically. And as a dangerous domain, generally you're going to get a little bit better loot here than in the regular zones. Not a huge margin, but a little bit better. And I honestly need better equipment, so not a bad place to be. All right. There we go. Just trying to go through the hordes of undead. I didn't check what the penalty was or the bonus was. What is it? Vengeful. Total damage modified by 5%. Retaliation damage modified by 30%. That affects everybody. So everything deals more damage, and my retaliation damage that I do deal is more efficient as well. Here you can break a wall, and there's a nice little large treasure chest behind it. There we go. More undead. Colosseum horror. Basically, everybody was having a fine and dandy time at the Colosseum. There was all sorts of people dying in the Colosseum, and everybody was happy. But then the people that died started to rise from the dead, and things got progressively worse for everyone. Very sad. Kind of tells you that you should never mess with, raising the dead. All right. I'm looking for more big treasure chests or boss monsters. I know where one of the boss monster is, but yeah, they're higher level than me, so they are a bit tougher than they normally would be, but that does give me a whole lot of experience for rovers. As you can see, I mean, we weren't even friendly before, and we're going to be respected pretty soon. By the end of the necropolis, if you're not respected with the Arcovian, with the rovers, by the end of the necropolis, you're doing something wrong in the game. Karnak Chillblood, Cumulusium Amalgam. There we go. But wait, he's a Billy Mays monster. You have to kill him twice. But wait, there's more. Okay, my regeneration plus life leech on my weapon is pretty nasty. That's a shield and a gavel. Not very useful for my current situation. But we're 203 points away from being respected by the Arcovians. Because that's who the rovers and are basically, they're the descendants of the people of Arcovia. Which I do think is more like Romans, but they went with a mix of things, and I quite enjoy the lore in general in this game. Do-do-do-do. That just brings me up to more. Okay. Here, there's another wasp nest with a wasp boss. So we're going to go and take that out, get some experience and some money out of that. And hopefully some royal jellies. You also have a higher chance of dropping particular components. So if you were farming particular components, that'd be a place you would go if you needed like tons of one particular component for a crafting recipe. The problem is I've never had to farm components. I've had to farm the bigger things like the royal jellies, obviously, but never the small stuff. Okay, ether damage amulet, not super great. Alder's Inquisition is a pistol. Okay, not great. It's a pistol, so I can't really use it, but all right, nothing. We didn't get anything fancy here outside of some experience. Give me a second. I gotta go ban a view bot from Twitch. Am I missing something? Just levels. Okay, it's just levels I need for that particular thing. That brings me back here. Oh, skeletons. There we go. Level 27. I can't equip those pants now. I mean, my armor goes up like significantly wearing these. So, really worth it. My damage goes up a little bit, which is not bad either. I've got maximum poison resistance, which is really good. I might need to start looking into reducing my damage, increasing my resistances at some point. But hey, for now, it works. There we go. I don't know if you guys have the IPE option in your YouTube. I saw it once this morning as I was browsing another video. It said IPE this channel with IPE coins because you have a number of IPE coins now. I don't know if everybody has access to that yet or if it's a general thing. I'm starting to hate YouTube's way of doing things. I mean, that's what like should be. That's what subscribe should be. That's what, they keep adding things to try to promote smaller channels rather than, promoting the smaller channels. But hey, that's YouTube being YouTube. But if you can hype the people you like, do it. It's probably gonna help. I'm not quite sure how it works. They sort of explained it into a one of those videos for creators kind of thing. I do listen to them. YouTube can't say I don't listen to what they're putting out, even though most of the time it's rather either pointless or not very interesting, let's say. All right, nothing super great here. I know there's a shrine in the top level of the necropolis. I think I've passed it. I think it's over here on the map in the middle. I'm just gonna kill undead as I go and get experience and everything. Okay, if I went Arcanist as a second class, the aura gives me elemental damage bonus, straight elemental damage, and energy leech. This here is also pretty good. It's straight spirit and offensive ability. This I wouldn't use. Converts physical damage to elemental damage. Not that great. That's free ether resistance on top of what I have. And okay, that's not essential. Because I could go like all the way here, get the ether resistance from that, and it deals bonus damage. There's a few interesting things here that I'm thinking of. Is there like an aura for... I mean, the Demolitionist has a really good aura as well for straight damage. The Occultist as summons. That's really a summoner class. Its aura is mostly for bleeding damage, not something I would use. Inquisitor doesn't have an aura, I think. And that's really a ranged dual wielding thing and not anything that I can really benefit from. This guy as in... Does he have an aura? I don't think they have an aura, the Oathkeepers. The Necromancer has an aura, but it's for bonus ether damage, so not very conducive to what I do. I mean, the Arcanist aura there, that's bonus damage, and that's bonus ether resistance. There, I'm going to select another class, and I'm actually going to be one of those druid guys. There, I'm a druid now, not just a shaman. Bonus elemental damage is not bad. Elemental damage, what is weird with it is that it's fire, cold. It's split between the three elements whenever you use it. So if you get bonuses to any of the other elements, it's not bad, actually. So it's actually not a bad thing, I believe. YouTube's starting to have way too many systems for the same thing. My problem is more that they've got multiple systems to do the same thing, and that's where it starts being a problem. I do see the shrine, but I don't see it on the map. His assignment is to go kill 3 ancient undead in the necropolis, and of course, as with any good characters in a action RPG, he passes on the quest to you because he doesn't want to do the job. Okay, maybe he's not a lazy git, but it just feels like he's a lazy git. Okay, the shrine's right there. Okay, I'm getting to the shrine. How does he heal? What's healing him? Oh, there's a undead priest that was healing the undead. Oh no, the undead. I'm now despised by the undead. Whatever shall I do? You trigger this. Fight some nasties. And get a devotion point out of it. Burning Aethrid, that's a really cool name for an item, but it's not very good for me. I mean, if I did this, if you go to elemental damage, there's not as many. Well, there's all sorts of it here, but that's entirely not something that I can buy. This is elemental resistance straight up. That's not bad. That's 15% elemental resistance, 3%. That's actually not bad here, but that'd be giving me a whole lot of blues. Because I do want some elemental resistance, and this is a way of getting some. The candle is actually pretty good if you're doing straight elemental. And it does give like decent bonuses to your resistance, an 8 in elemental and an 8 in ether. That's in the greens, which I do not have any points in either. I said I was going to go with the hammer, so I'm going to level up the hammer. 15% element physical damage straight and a 20 points of armor straight. Free armor is armor, so we'll take it. I'm not sure how the bonus armor works on that though. If you get since each part of your body has some armor, is it a plus 20 to each body part, or is it plus 20 like in general? Or there's some math in this game that I'm not very good at. Do I have the time to beat the entire necropolis? Maybe. Let's go. We'll go as far as we can go in necropolis, and we'll see. There you go. There's a secret door here. It's not on the map. It's not a huge shortcut either, but there's a few different things you need to do in the necropolis. Not just cross it and kill the some of the evil ancient dead. There's a few things you need to find in it as well. So there's a bit of exploration you need to do. And there's an awful lot of undead. This is a place where your ether resistance is going to be put to a test as well, because a lot of those guys do ether damage. The ghost especially. So if you're doing it at higher difficulties, you'll probably want to, really invest in your resistance. There we go. Kill some funny ghosts. There's the things I'm looking for. Well, there's a whole lot of ghosts and skeletons. That's also a thing I'm looking for, to be honest. Okay, the belt armor applies everywhere also. That's explained why it's very good to put big bonus to armor to the belt. All right, ghosts, skeletons, ghost. Yeah, that's what I wanted to find, the ancient lecterns. There's one above ground and 3 underground. And you need to find the 3 of those. So I generally find them fairly easily, but always feels like I'm missing one, and I have to make sure I explore everything to find it. There we are. A whole lot of people with crossbows. Is that a lectern or an ancient dead? I think that's that's a lectern. Okay. They just all spawned behind me, and they're still spawning. second Forgotten Passage. I need 3 of those. There's one of the Ancient Dead. No Mos Dread. No relation with Judge. Do a little bit of grave robbing. But I mean, they started it by attacking me. So is it really grave robbing if they started it? No, a skeletal monstrosity. At least it's not a boss this time. It's just a big guy. With my level, I should max out savagery. This one here is not as essential. It's just alt regeneration. It's not that essential. This is straight damage. The Arcanist is this that I want to max out. And probably that middle one. I'll need at least like 10 points to get that middle bit here. So I could just invest in the bar on the Arcanist for a little bit. Might not be a bad idea. It'll raise my stats in general. Having higher stats is not a bad thing. But yeah, this is the worst place to ever go if you're doing an assassin build with bleeding and piercing damage, because the skeletons are really hard to kill in that case. It becomes a very unpleasant experience. When you're fighting humans, it's a really good experience though, but against skeletons, not really. See, I'm already past respected now with the rovers. So I should be able to buy like some basic gear and some basic recipes from them. I already have the recipes, so I don't worry about that. But this is the exit for the necropolis. So you can go really quick through it and not worry about all the other quests, but you want to do the other quests to begin with. This girl does give me another quest that's not there, but and there's a save point. I usually activate this save point before going back in, because if you don't activate that one, you have to go through the outside of the necropolis every time you want to go back in. So it gets a little bit trickier. I mean, it's not bad. It's experience. It's rover friendliness, you know. But there we go. We've got the last days of Arcovia and a recipe that I already have. All right. And I got a level. Yeah, I'm just going to pump that up. I mean, it's 2 physique, 3 cunning, 5 spirit per level. So I'm going to have a decent amount of spirit that I'm not going to be, well, I'm going to be using it because elemental damage is based off spirit. So it's not a bad setup. I think I'm doing an okay choice being a druid here. Or maybe I'm just hyping myself up saying that I want to be a druid. But I don't think it's a class I ever did. So it's an idea. I do mix Arcanist in a lot of other classes as well, though. I do like it a little bit like Demolitionist. It has a lot of utility as a second class. There we go. Keep going. More skeletons to beat up. I do like this is the first time in the game mostly that you're like, okay, there is a lot of monsters and a lot of enemies on the screen. Because before that, there's sometimes a few locations where there's a good chunk of enemies, but here is really where things really ramp up with all the undeads that you have to find. And it doesn't get easier as the game progresses. They are starting with the large group of enemies. And I'm looking for Lodos Vragra and Rovena Kur to finish that particular quest. But I know there's another one on this level, and the other one is on the bottom level, or they're both on the bottom level. Good question. They must both be in the bottom level because I pretty much cleared the upper level here. Oh, that gives me another bit of lore for free. I'll take 875 XP. That's not a bad thing. I mean, Devil's Crossing, I'm already more friends with the Rovers than Devil's Crossing, and I've been working for Devil's Crossing for like the entire game. You have not done a melee druid, so it is an I mean, my arcanist, all the arcanist stuff I'm going to put is on passives or auras. I'm not going to be buying the range attacks with it, so I don't think it's going to be a very fancy secondary class. Oh, there's Lodos Vagra. I'm going to clean out stuff around me. Hey, he actually deals enough damage to go through my elt regeneration. Incredible. Well, it's really that throwing a meteor things that dealt a lot of damage. He has a fancy axe. Not going to be very good, but let's keep going. The Nightshade has a really cool aura where any monster that enters your aura range takes damage. That's a really cool concept that I haven't really seen in this type of game very often. Auras, most games now use, but this one like deal damage if someone gets into it. It's just different enough that I find it cool. Titan's Quest also does the two classes mixing for your character. So I'm not sure if the guys who did Grim Dawn are the same people who do Titan Quest, or if it's just part of the team that moved away. I honestly don't know, but Titan's Quest has received like tons of updates over the years and expansions. Like every couple years, they have an expansion, which is weird. Now there's Titan's Quest 2 that came out, so I'm starting to look into it. Maybe if it isn't too power intensive, I might get it. The base Titan's Quest, I am not able to play anymore because after playing Grim Dawn, it just really feels lackluster. There's not enough monsters on the screen. The quests are not super great, etc. Yeah, you're right. Maven Sphere would be another good skill to get. since it's a defensive buff that automatically triggers. And I think it's in the range I'm going, so. Okay, well, where is Maven's Sphere? If I ever get rid of Empowered and Nova, you can use that as a Nova attack. Maven's Sphere, where is it? Maven's Sphere of Protection, that's a 15. But I mean, 6% damage absorption, straight. And if you level it up, you get more everything. So it's a very good skill as well. Might not be one of the things I'm going to focus on, at least not at the start, but I have a feeling that I might go and get it at some point. Ether damage, chaos damage, not very good. I'm finding a whole lot of items that are just not very good. But that's life in these types of games. It's only on late Diablo 3 on console where they changed the drops to be drops for your class more often than anything else. So it made the game even easier than before. And I have to say, Diablo 3 is not a very hard game. Come on, don't run away. Jeez. What a lame guy trying to run away. Oh, it's because his main weapon was a crossbow. Well, that would explain why he was trying to run away from me. It didn't save him, but, you know. All right, that's pretty much cleaned out. Got that quest done. And there's the next bit of the necropolis where there is, if I remember right, a totem. There's, of course, a bunch of undead I need to take care of first. I mean, I have a feeling that it might be a while before I get a weapon that has better damage than what I'm currently swinging around. At least in terms of straight damage. And over there is a special boss. The fact that this is all optional, but I've never not done it, is testament to wanting to get all the shrines. When there's a gate like this, it does mean that there's a boss behind it normally, or a bigger boss behind it. As with anything normal, you try to clean the ads before you try to go after the boss. This guy does a lot of damage. Of course, if I didn't stand in his big fiery thing, it might be better. There, got rid of the ad. I have to actually heal against this guy. Torchlight, I liked the first one. The second one, it was literally playing Diablo 2, so I wasn't too impressed. And the third one was something else, and not in a good way. It was really not very good. I think they did a Torchlight Online or something like that as a free-to-play MMO style kind of thing. And yeah, that was not very good either. I'm gonna go sell all the stuff I found. There's nothing here that is fantastic enough for me to keep. When there's colored stuff on the ground, you probably shouldn't stand on it. That's probably a good idea. This converts physical damage to elemental damage. I have a lot of big physical damage, so it's not super useful. Let's just keep putting points in that. Raises my stats. My physique is really high, but that's what I was expecting. But this will make my spirit fairly high as well, which is not bad. That's level 35. This here will probably be better than the Troll's Talisman, as its bonus physical and elemental damage when I get it, and 27% elemental resistance on top of things. But that's a level 35 talisman, so not a thing that I will be equipping just yet. A lot of things to sell, as you can see. I mean, it's very rare that you're running out of money in this game. I didn't need to talk to him. All right. Am I finally like friendly, respected with them? Yeah, I'm respected with them here. Just dump these things. Like once you're respected, you have access to some of these items here. They're level 35, so I can't equip them just yet. And the ones here is, I mean, each city has different types of equipment that they give. I mean, that is a pretty good helmet, to be honest. But I'm 6 levels before I can equip it, so. I'm going to go do another of the Broken Hills. Yes, that's where I need to go. I think so. It's a little bit weird. This particular region with the warp gates where they are is a little bit weird. There's another dangerous domain here. I'm just going to do that before we call it a night. This one here I found it wasn't there before and it showed up later. And I found it by accident by clicking here and it broke the wall. And I was like, oh, well, there's a wall that can be broken. Oh, there's another wall that can be broken. And you go behind and there's a bunch of undead. Oh, well, that's cool. We're going to go kill some undead. But this region here is still not a dangerous domain. This is just a zone with monsters. The dangerous domain is an actual little dungeon behind it. I mean, there's quite a few undead here at least. And they're at an okay level, so it's not like you're really in trouble. All right. Flame Revenant. A big chest. That's always good to grab. With Sanguinar. Say crossbow or a shotgun? It's a cool ass crossbow. Okay. Nothing I can use to be very useful, but it's cool. Okay, well, more undead. That's free friendship with the rovers. But if you go in the dungeon, the corrupted tomb, the monsters are 8% faster. That's a problem. But the monsters you're fighting here are chthonic. They are actual demons rather than undead. Because this is where the evil the evil cult had a priesthood in the what used to be the necropolis, and well, you have to fight them. Oh well, I'm almost dead here. I actually needed that potion quickly. But I mean, 8% speed bonus on the monsters is very, very bad. So that could explain why I had some trouble. And they deal vitality damage, which is not a thing that I have a very high resistance of for right now. So I do have to be a little bit more careful here. And it does tell me that I need that vitality resistance at some point. Fighting Cthulhu ore is always a fun time. The experience is pretty good, and the drops are usually pretty good as well because it's a dangerous domain. There's dangerous domains with more modifiers as well, especially if you go in the special zones that are locked out. Those get pretty rough pretty quickly, especially since you can't warp out using your gate. So those I generally keep for later in the game when I'm better equipped and better ready to deal with multiple threats. All right, just batting things around. A celestial totem. It's weird to see that in a place with the Chthonic monsters, but yeah, this guy's pretty rough. This guy's a pretty darn rough here with the bonus attack speeds and everything. Blood Reaper's coat, not useful for me. Spirit Stone Charm, not useful for me. Those gloves are not terrible. So that I might use. But I don't have a unholy inscription. Whoops. Andy to equip on it. The unholy inscription gives me 5% life leech on attacks. It currently works really well with what I'm doing. So, hey, we found maybe decent gloves. The monsters here are tougher, but it is decent experience and decent everything. So we will take it. There we are. Cleared out these guys a bit. Any more around here? No? Okay. Moving along. Yeah, honestly, if you look at the dangerous domains, some of them like is really minor thing, like -8% to all resistance or something like that. Like, okay, it's annoying, but not bad. But like in boosting all monsters' attack speed and movement speed is quite dramatic. Oh, here's the evil priest. And I just got nuked. Like my health went from very high to nothing. That's scary. Mm, It's not a bad belt. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to go get a non-ollie inscription to put in those gloves we found and just get an upgrade and go back. Unholy inscription in the gloves. Whoa, my damage goes way down. But the armor goes way up. Yeah, the armor goes way up. Oh, the offensive ability goes down too. Attack speed, bleeding resistance. Yeah. We'll go with the gloves with more armor. It has more resists at the same time, which is probably a good thing. All right, let's go back, recover my experience, and beat the boss. Hopefully beat the boss. I'm thinking. I mean, that's how gear in games like this really work. You have to look at what they give, what they present, and go with it. It's not like in Elden Ring or a Souls like, usually you can go with, yeah, I really like it, so I'm going to keep it instead, especially if the different weapon types do different skills or different things like that. Here, it's really straightforward of, well, are the numbers bigger? And what number is bigger is the other question. Because sometimes just the number is bigger is good, but sometimes is it the numbers I want that are bigger, or is it another number? Sometimes the numbers are not the ones you want. Gonna berserk, and hopefully I'll be able to go through his ult. Yeah, there we go. His sword is pretty good if you're a class that uses that kind of sword, basically. He's got a big chest with a claymore of claymoring. I mean, this could be decent, but not for me. But I mean, this ear for a warrior and different other things, it is a pretty good sword. Yeah, I got to recover my dead body. I'll reclaim 700 experience. You really don't lose much from death here. The set bonuses make a big difference, and it's one of those games where you actually can get a full set without having to go online and beg to get the pieces. So, all right, we're gonna end it here for today. Tomorrow there's not going to be a stream, and on Wednesday we're going to talk the rule changes for BattleTech once again, and we're going to keep trying to do a stream every day at 7, just so I can keep an idea of what I'm doing and have time to talk to people every once in a while. So I'll see everybody